Uh, hey Wolves fans, welcome to another Fireside Friday. Flying solo today. Coach Nolan's running the camera,
Yes,
so
sir.
we'll just here to give you guys a quick update from last weekend regional tournament. You know, one of the big tournaments that we build up to throughout the year. We thought we got our guys wrestled really well. This regional, the Central Regional, is just a bear cat, man. It's tough. There's a lot of tough teams. I think there's 6 teams in the top 20 out of the 15 schools there. And out of those teams, I believe 4 of them are in the top 10. So really a tough tournament going into. The top 4 finishers in each weight class advance on to the national tournament on March 11th and 12th. Going into the tournament, we only had 8 guys that we took down there, so we had 2 open weight classes. But I felt our guys wrestled really hard. Ben Kaufman, freshman from Mishawaka, Indiana, he had really a good tournament. He didn't win any matches. He wrestled, the 2 guys he wrestled were the number 5 and number 6 place finishers, and lost 2 one-point matches to both of them. Just gritty performance. I think it was a good learning experience for him moving into next year. Just we got to get stronger, hit the weight room a lot, and develop some more attacks on his feet. I think Ben's going to be right there. 133. Carson Henry started off. Wrestled a really good match against the number 3 kid from Maryville, or the number 3 seeded kid from Maryville. Actually had him on his back. I thought we had the pin. Didn't quite get the call that we needed, but it goes that way sometimes. And we had a tough match, and then came back in the wrestle back round, and was beating a kid, and then just got stuck on, got caught in a situation, and ended up getting pinned. But he's a senior. Won a lot of matches for us, got a lot of bonus points for us throughout the year, so just real thankful that had him on the team. On 141, we had CJ Vogelai. Really kind of the first, I guess he wrestled against Mary, but this weekend was the first tournament he wrestled since December. So, I thought he battled really hard. He worked really hard with rehab and stuff, getting back so he'd even be at this point to have the opportunity to wrestle in the regional tournament. And we saw a lot of good things out of him. Just lacked the mat time. Just from not being able to be on the mat and compete. You can definitely see that. So looking forward. Still have more time with him. He's only a junior, so looking forward to getting him back. Grant Steen at 165, up a weight class, bumped shoulder. He wrestled really hard. Dropped a real tight match in overtime in the wrestle back round, but just real thankful to have had him. He jumped up, was a great teammate, filled in that spot for us, and throughout the year, second half of the dual season, and really worked hard for us. And David Murphy also dropped a close match in overtime in the consolations. Kind of got down early in that match, but battled back with a bunch of takedowns, and then was in on a great shot to finish the match in overtime, and we just kind of lost the scramble. So all those guys wrestled really well. Thankful for all they've done throughout the season. Moving down to 149 then, Tyler Stenberg, he placed 4th for us at this tournament. He was the number 3 seed going in. Unfortunately, Tyler won't be moving on to nationals. He dropped his true 4th place match at the tournament, so lost to the Upper Iowa kid. So Upper Iowa kid, who placed 5th, will advance to the national tournament. But Tyler had a great season. Going in this tournament, I think he was 23-3. Battled back through some adversity. He had to have knee surgery about halfway through the year, and looking forward. He's only a junior, so we can definitely get him back for next year. I actually get a lot of our guys back for next year, so we're pretty excited going into next season. Blake Perryman, sophomore from Dakota Dunes, South Dakota. He ended up having a really great tournament, wrestled really well, placed 5th at the tournament, and then he was in the challenge match for the true 4th, but he dropped that match, wasn't able to get over the hump and beat the Upper Iowa kid to earn a ticket to the national tournament. But we saw a lot of really good things out of him. I think moving forward for him is just really building some consistency into next year and how he competes. So looking forward to getting him back for a couple more years. And then finally, Joe Gomez won the regional tournament. I think he's the only second guy in NSU history to win the regional title at the Division II level for NCAA. Just really had a solid tournament. Started off with a really good match against the Southwest kid. I think he got a major decision. Had Clayton Wallstrom from Augustana got through that match in the quarters, and then wrestled a good match. Pulled out an overtime win against VJ Julio from St. Cloud. Was able to get a takedown in overtime with about 3 seconds left. That led us to the championship match against the number 2 ranked kid in the country, Ryan Belch from Maryville. And that was probably the match where he just kind of came out and really dominated. He was able to get a takedown late in the first period. I believe he got another takedown in the second period. And we scored another takedown in the third period, early in the third period, before they had the injury default. Unfortunately, Belch tweaked his knee a little bit on that last takedown, so they elected injury default. But Joe was really starting to roll and started to dominate the match. So looking forward to him carrying on that same type of intensity and those types of match strategies going into the national tournament. So excited about his opportunities here in a couple weeks, going down to Sioux Falls again to the Premier Center. We got a lot of fans going to be down there. I think we got about 88 or 90 fans that have bought tickets so far for our seating block. So it should be a great atmosphere for Joe. Really it's just one match at a time. We feel pretty confident in his draw and what he can do. So it's just a matter of going down there, competing, and staying consistent with what he's been doing throughout the year. Overall, I guess as a team for that regional tournament, there's a lot of things that we saw as positives for the weekend. I think last year we finished 12th at that tournament out of the 15 teams. This year we actually ended up finishing in 7th place out of the 15 teams, and like I said before, the 6 teams in front of us were all teams in the top 20. I think St. Cloud State's ranked number 2, Maryville, who actually won the tournament, was ranked number 4. Upper Iowa was number 8, Lindenwood 10, Mankato State was at 16, and McKendree was at 20. So some really solid programs. Hopefully our guys work hard going into this off season once the national tournament's over, and we can move up a few more spots next year. I mean, that's always the goal, to keep improving. If you look at it, our 2 goals this year were to finish in the top half of our region and the top half of our conference. So we met the goal of finishing in the top half of the region. As far as the conference, in the dual season, we didn't do what we wanted to do for whatever reason, injuries, whatever. But if you look at the regional tournament, how we finished out, we actually finished 4th out of the 9 teams in our conference at the regional tournament. So I guess we'll take that as reaching that goal that we were looking forward to. And like I said, after national tournament here, get the team back down, sit them down, go over some goals, and start working towards improving for next year. So again, looking forward to this national tournament here in a couple weeks in our home state, and looking forward to a big crowd. And thanks again for all the people that have gone out and supported us throughout the season. Other than that, we'll talk to you guys later. Go Wolves.